afternoon, ladies and gents. We are located in Kennedy International Airport, headed to Philadelphia International Airport. Our estimated flight time should be a little under half an hour, 45 minutes, so it's a real short one. Distance for this flight is going to be approximately 87.5 nautical miles. Estimated fuel burn about 135.7 gallons of fuel. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in flight deck. As you can see, we are in a holding dock state. So first things first, let's go ahead and access the overhead and flip on the battery switch. Let's go ahead and access the tablet and ground services. Let's go ahead and turn on our generators so we can supply power to the aircraft. Back to the overhead. Let's go ahead and turn on our ground power. Let's go ahead and turn on our APU from on to start. Packs are off. Isolation valves to auto. APU bleed in the on position. Yaw dampers on. Let's go ahead and turn on our window hood switches, probe switches, hydraulic pumps, middle two switches to on. Now data out of date, let's go ahead and clear that. FMC position. Back to the overhead. And align our nav IRS switches. Align to AV. Both sides. GPS, first line, scratch pad, and enter GPS position. Our reference airport is KJFK. That's the ICAO code for Kennedy. So let's go ahead and take care of that. KJFK. Reference airport. As you can see, it's been placed in a scratch pad for our convenience. So let's go ahead and enter that in the origin. Destination is Philadelphia. ICAO code for Philadelphia is should be KPH. Hang on 1 second, folks. KPHL, scratch pad, destination, departure arrivals page. We should be departing runway 4 right. Back to the route page. Activate that, execute that. Climb. I'm going to do 12,000 for this flight. Okay, let's go ahead and access the performance page. If we click on the 0 fuel weights, some data is going to be entered for us, as you can see. Our gross weight is calculated. Reserves for this flight is going to be 1.1. Cost index 20. Execute that, and we'll limit. Go ahead and engage this button. Takeoff page. It's going to be flaps 5 for this flight. And let's go ahead and log in VREV speed. V-rotate speed for this flight is going to be 122. Back to the routes page, or should I say legs page? No, let's do route. Cruise route. Okay, let's go ahead and enter our waypoints. I'm going to do quarry. That's going to be first intersection. K-O-R-R-Y. From quarry, we're going to hit brand. Brand to Junes. J-U-N-E. That's for Junes. Choose the force waypoint. And last transition is going to be Zoka. Let's go to the departure and arrivals page. Choose the arrival. Arrival runway for this flight is going to be 27 right. Next page. Next page. Last page. ILS 27 right. Let's go ahead and execute that. Back to legs. See if we have any discontinuities, and we do. So, next page. Choose our runway. Enter that in the scratch pad. Previous page from Zoka, we should hit runway 27 right. Enter that, execute. Let's go to the plan page. And let's go ahead and step through. Make sure our flight plan makes some sense. Brand, Junes, Zokar, and runway 7 right. Let's go ahead and do that again. That didn't look quite satisfactory. So Brand, Junes, Zokar, I'm too happy with that Zoka transition to runway 27 right. Let me see something real quick. Okay, we have a flight plan. So let's go ahead and pre-plan our pushback.
Ground to Cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready. Ground to Cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Okay, we just made contact with the tow truck. While they do their thing, we can do some cockpit preps. Taxi on, anti-collision on, position lights on, access the overhead, give me some lighting. Go back to the overhead. Our cruise for this flight is going to be 12,000 like I indicated. 12,000.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Landing altitude 100. Let me see. Go ahead and switch to the rejected takeoff. Initial speed for rotation is going to be 122 and altitude 12,000.
Tow connected and bike passed and in service. Release parking brake.
Give me 1 second. Parking brakes released, and we should have pushback. So let's go ahead and see if we can start our engines. Left engines, right engines, flips on.
Front of the bulkhead seats or the emergency exits. For safety reasons, the use of any electronic devices is prohibited during taxiing,
Go ahead and start our
takeoff, and
first
landing.
engine.
Personal electronic equipment, such as telephones and wireless transmitting devices, may not be used at any time
As you
during
can
the flight.
see,
Please fasten your seatbelt now as we're
engine
taking off.
number 2 is pulling up. We're going to look for about 25%.
Because turbulence can occur
25%.
unexpectedly, you are obliged to have your seatbelt
And
fastened
once we
whenever
reach
your seat
25%,
until
we're
the
going to
aircraft
go
comes
ahead
to a
and
full stop
flip
after
on
landing.
our fuel
Whenever the
conditioners.
fasten seatbelt sign is on, the use of the lavatories is not permitted. For takeoff and landing,
25%. As you can see, engine number 2 is looking happy, so let's access the overhead. Our ground should switch back on to auto.
make sure that the back of your seat is
Anytime
in a
now.
fully upright position and that your tables are folded away. Secure infants with the infant's belt, which will be distributed by your flight attendant if needed. This is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is not permitted at any time on board. Smoking in the lavatories is dangerous and will activate a smoke alarm. If cabin pressure is lost, oxygen masks
Okay, there we
will be
go.
released
Ground
automatically.
switch back to auto,
Pull
so
the
let's
mask
go ahead and
towards your
start
face and
engine
cover your
number
nose
1.
and mouth. Then help children and other passengers.
As you can see, engine number
In
1
case
is
of
pulling
impact
up.
on land or water, position yourself as
Set parking brake.
Go ahead and set my parking brakes.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Engine number 1 looking happy. We're just going to wait till it reaches 25%. And we're going to go ahead and Gonna exercise patience for engine number 1. 25%. Switch on our conditioners, and engine number 1 looking happy. Back to the overhead, wait for our ground to switch back to auto, and we can continue with our after engine start. Tow is done their thing. Back to the overhead, waiting for our ground to switch back to auto. And we can continue with our after, here we go. After engine start, cockpit prep. So, what do we have here? Anti-collision done. Position done. Okay. Now that we have fully powered, we want to switch off our APU, switch off our ground power, switch both our generators 1 and 2 on, and yaw dampers on. I forgot to take care of that, and we're looking good as far as our engines. Give me 1 second, folks. That's our takeoff runway. And we're pretty much going to taxi straight ahead. Angle left, and we're ready for takeoff. So, what we got? 12,000, V-rotate is 122. We did go ahead and take care of our rejected takeoff. Let's go ahead and turn our TCAS to Tara. Good on that. Runway 27 right is where we're gonna make touchdown. As you can see, we're already positive on our frequency setup. So let's see what we got. Disengage the parking brakes. Give me 1 second. Excuse me, ladies and gents. It's going to be flaps 5 for this flight, like I indicated earlier. So, disengage parking brakes. A little engine power, and we should be making our way to our takeoff runway. Turn on our landing lights, taxi off. We're pretty much ready for takeoff. Let me see if I can give me some main panel lighting. A little background. Some flooding. Like so. And we're ready for takeoff. So, let's see what we got. Vertical speed. Let's do 2,000 feet per minute. Let's go ahead and switch on both flight directives. And disengage parking brakes. About 40% and 1. Rotation. Gear up. Ease back on the throttle. Flaps 2. Trying to intercept our initial heading before I engage autopilot, unless I'm going to have issues. Just hand flying for now. Let's go ahead and do flaps up. Just flying for now. Normally I would have engaged the autopilot about 2,000 feet, but okay, autopilot has it. Let's go ahead and increase our speed to 250. Since we're past 10,000 feet, landing lights off. mistake, it didn't engage my altitude hold, so we're going to level it out at 12,000. The autopilot is handling business, so we're good. A little higher in the speed, but once we let it blow out, the speed should drop back down to 250. Whew. Go ahead and use that speed brake to slow us down a little bit. And let me see if I can use some vertical speed so we can go back down to 12,000. Way high on that speed right there. Okay, I didn't engage the auto throttle and speed hold, that's why we're high on the speed. So, pretty rusty, folks. I'd like to apologize for that. It's been a while, but everything is not as bad as it looks. So, should level back down to 12,000. Altitude hold is engaged. I just noticed we don't have a magenta line headed to Quarry, but that's fine. We're definitely on the straight trajectory to Quarry, so we should be good. A ridiculous mistake on my part, but not to worry. We're on a straight line to Quarry. Once we reach Quarry, LNAV should kick in, and we're still good to go. I must say I'm impressed with the 737-900 MAX for Xplane 11. Beautiful bird, beautiful airplane. Not bad at all. A little wing view for your enjoyment. It's a short flight, so I should start descending down to 2,500 feet, so we can intercept the localizer and a glide slope for runway 27 right. Let's go ahead and give us some speed braking. Yeah. Speed braking activated. I'm going to slow us down to 240. Let's go ahead and engage our auto brakes to about 3. I'm really going to have to descend at a faster pace because it's a short flight, and once we hit Quarry, it's going to be Brand, June, and Zokar, and runway 27 right. So we are descending at 2,500 feet per minute. So we can make Quarry. Actually, you know what? Let's do 5,000 for now. Corey. As you can see, our speed brakes are engaged to slow us down, all the way down to 5,000. And we should level off at 5,000 once we hit Corey. Let's do 250. Actually, you know what? We do have some time to take any evasive actions because we're still going to have to hit Corey, Brand in June before runway 27 right. So we're right on course. Good. I'm not as rusty as I thought. Knock on wood. Okay, what I like to do is, at this phase of flight, since we are approaching our final fixes. First off, his side is showing me on my page, and the captain's side is showing us our ILS indicators. So the best of both worlds as far as the situational awareness. So that's good. Heading bug always in the same direction we're flying in case we need to do any evasive actions. If I engage the head and hold and we're like not positioned straight ahead, then the aircraft is gonna immediately pitch to the left or the right, and we don't want that for the the comfort of our passengers. So, what do we have? 7 nautical miles to Corey. Okay, speed up the pace a little bit. I'm gonna do 290. Speed increasing to 290. I always forget to engage the landing lights, so I'm just going to do that right now. We're still on LNAV, so we should start vectoring to our runway. So I'm going to decrease my altitude to 2,500. (2,000 feet per minute). And start easing back on our speed. Let's do 180. And let's go ahead and engage our VOR lock so we can intercept the localizer. As you can see, we are vectoring to our last transition, which is zoom. descending to 2500. Actually, I need to speed up the pace so we can intercept the localizer. You can see our glide slope diamond is active. VOR lock is engaged. Speed is engage the VOR lock too soon, but it's back to LNAV. So we are gonna vector to June and runway 27 right. Speed is dropping. I should go ahead and start increasing our flaps. Flaps 15. Down to our landing speed, about 149. Flaps too high. Okay, let's try those flaps again. Still too high. Okay. Flaps 30. Okay. Still haven't hit June yet, so the autopilot is handling business. And once we hit June, I'm going to engage the VOR lock so we can intercept the localizer. VOR lock. As you can see, the localizer indicator is moving to the center line, intercepting June, and we'll wait for the glide slope diamond to turn pink. Then we're going to go ahead and engage our approach hold. Flaps 30. I'm patiently waiting for the glide slope diamond to turn pink. Then I'm going to engage the approach hold. And we should descend to runway 27 right. If everything goes right. Paying attention to the glide slope diamond. Actually, let's go ahead and engage the approach hold. And landing gear down. Just patiently waiting for that glide slope diamond to turn pink and head down this way. There you go, turn pink. And it should be heading down this way. Down south. Down south. Once engaged, our altitude holder is going to disengage, and we should be making our way down to runway 27 right. Okay, altitude hold disengaged, descending. At about 1,500 feet to 1,000, I'm going to disengage the autopilot, auto throttle, and hand fly. I definitely need to practice on hand flying, so I'm going to take a stab at it. Hopefully don't end up in here. We end up on terra firma, not the river. That would not be good for me, my first officer, and our passengers. And our beautiful 737-900 MAX. Okay. Let me take a stab at landing this aircraft manually. Disengage our autopilot. Disengage our auto throttle. And hand fly. High, just right. Grass, folks. Oh, okay. If the passengers don't mind me eating grass, then I have no reason to complain. walk away from is a perfect landing, so I'll take it. If you made it with me to this point, I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and do 200 subscribers in about a week's time. I really appreciate it if you can do that for me. And once again, welcome to Philadelphia International Airport. Like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Until next time, SkyyForce on YouTube. Peace.